The Knicks are 3-1 to start this season. After losing game 1 overtime to the Memphis Grizzlies, the Knicks have beat the Pistons, Magic, and the Hornets three straight games to again make the record of 3-1. I was gonna make multiple videos with both of these things, but I just couldn't because basically they're too intertwined. So as I'm watching these first 3 games, I'm watching Jalen Brunson. We went the first, I believe it was first 3 games without a turnover. Just assist, leading us offensively. Julius Randle has been playing amazing. His ability to get the teammates involved, find good shots for others, take just quality shots, rebound the ball has been impressive. Mitchell Robinson has continued to, be a terror on the offensive glass, defensively. And I love him. He's a great young player. I still believe he has a lot of young talent. A lot of talent, a lot to prove in his league. The New York Knicks should have traded for Donovan Mitchell, and maybe I've given RJ Barrett. It has no bearing on who I believe RJ Barrett can become, will become, anything like that. It has nothing to do with who I believe RJ Barrett to be. Is that with us having the money tied up in Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, but most importantly, I say Mitchell Robinson first because that was his first time on my head because I just said his name. But with having money tied up into Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson the way we do, the only way for us to conceivably be a championship contender is if our third best player or our third piece of our big 3 was better than the 2 of them. And that is Jalen Brunson and our Julius Randle. Julius Randle wasn't a previous All-Star the year before last. Jalen Brunson has yet to be All-Star or really ever come close. Based not due to his lack of ability per se, just the opportunity. No one would even consider that. And RJ Barrett, I do believe, again, a player that does have a lot of young talent. It's just when you look at, championship contention, we needed a player that, again, to conceivably consider ourselves championship contenders, anything other than a really good team, a team that's going to just beat who they're supposed to. Adam and Donovan Mitchell would have helped us do that, at least in my opinion, at least better suited than what we have now. Because as of now, RJ Barrett is a third fiddle to Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. In a lot of ways, justifiably so. Both have done more in the league than him. Julius Randle, I said, just an all-star. Jalen Brunson beat a team, at least in his eyes, beat a team in the playoffs, and then got paid and was told the man as he was getting paid. So Donovan Mitchell went to the Cavs, and instantly became the alpha male. Instantly took the most shots, instantly led them in scoring. And, like I said, now they're feeling like a championship contender, not just a young team with promise. They're a legit championship contender in their minds. They have a lot of pieces to go around Donovan Mitchell. And stuff, like I said, and this isn't an indictment on RJ Barrett. This isn't me changing because I know I've been a big proponent behind RJ Barrett. I've championed him a lot. And it's not that those thoughts have wavered away. It's just that I feel like I said, when you look at this team, I didn't know Julius Randle was going to come play this unselfish, high-level basketball. After last year, I didn't know what to expect, Jalen Brunson is pretty much playing as I anticipated. But the biggest reason I say we should have traded, is looking like we will one day regret not trading for RJ Barrett is, one, we already have more players than we can play. Quentin Grimes has been hurt, hasn't played 1 second. And we're still struggling to get everyone minutes. So already, we have more players than we technically have minutes to spare. That's number one. And then we have all those draft picks. So what are we going to do with them? We got to do something with them. Again, I highlighted Cam Reddish in the past. He's been a benefactor with Quentin Grimes not playing. But when Quentin Grimes was hurt, he's going to have to get regulated to less minutes. Somebody will. Or Quentin Grimes won't play. But you see what I'm saying? That's more picks and talented young players than we can necessarily use. And it seems like it would have been more advantageous for a championship type mindset than to have what we have now. Have a lot of young talent, have a lot of young ability. We have a lot of ability in general. Every time someone steps on the court, they can hurt you in some type of way. Well, that being said, having Donovan Mitchell on this team, a guy that's much more of a killer, much more proven offensive player, perennial all-star, having him to add with Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, with the Mitchell Robinson defensively, with the Cam Reddish, he's defensively. We would have lost out on some of these young guys without a trade, but again, we're having so many. It's getting to the point where these young players are probably going to end up leaving for nothing at some point, or still getting traded anyway. We could have used it to trade for a guy that was still in his mid-20s and much more ready, to help us take the next step, more so than just get back to where we were 2 years ago in the 4th seed. And again, it's like I said, this is not me saying I lost faith in RJ Barrett. This isn't me saying that I don't think he's good anymore. This is none of that. It's just that when you look at the current situation. But again, I do want to. So I'm mad at the Knicks for not making the deal. I'm mad at them for being too focused on what other people can give, opposed to just understanding that there was no way that they were going to do that deal with us without RJ Barrett. While I have, in other circles and other videos, I said to myself, no other team is offering them RJ Barrett, and they didn't get it RJ Barrett. So why would they ask that from us? At the end of the day, the Jazz made it personal. They made it personal with us that they weren't going to help the Knicks and help the player go to where he wanted to go without getting RJ Barrett. And that just is what it is. We should have known that. But no one could have foreseen. So here's where I kind of give the Knicks some bail. No one could have foreseen the Cavaliers. One, after they bowed out, publicly said they bowed out to contention with them. But two, trading for Donovan Mitchell, now they made the decision that either they're going to trade Garland or have to find a way to convince Mobley to sign for less than a rookie max extension, which, barring a catastrophic injury, that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, from the Knicks' perspective, and really from outside looking in, there's no way to have known that the Cavaliers would have been willing to make a move like that. A team that had to make the playoffs without LeBron since he left, didn't have much success before he got there. A team that's been in that situation, you wouldn't think that they'd be so willing to part with a piece of the young core that helped them get to the playoffs. But that's the situation it is. They played us. They played our hand. And then Jazz made it personal. Like I said, they traded RJ Barrett right after. They traded Donovan Mitchell right after we re-signed RJ Barrett. So that tells me like I said, they weren't making the deal without RJ Barrett. They traded him to the Cavs the next day. And really, like I said, the Cavs stepped out. So that kind of makes me feel like there's a chance that Jazz called the Cavs. They called them and said, hey, we might be able to take that Colin Sexton, Larry Markton. We might be able to do that. 3 picks. And I said, it's tough. The Jazz basically said with us, they said to themselves, they made the decision. The Knicks are either giving us RJ Barrett and a heap of picks, or quote unquote overpaying, or he's not going there, period. They made it was personal. I've always said it, the NBA is against the Knicks, but more so, no one wants to be the reason, no one wants to make the move that helped the Knicks regain, get back to prominence. And Danny Ainge specifically isn't going to do that without saying that he won that trade. So it is what it is. I got to admit I was foolish for ever thinking that we could get him without RJ Barrett. Again, specifically with the reason of the Jazz were willing to make the Knicks live with either overpaying or having to live with not having them. And that's really where we're at right now. Like I said, shout out to my man Dang Father. We're going to bring out some more Knicks content. Like he was saying, we're going to beat teams we're supposed to beat, i.e. a lot by the record that we've had so far. Lost to the Memphis Grizzlies, where a star just shined. John Morant is looking like one of the best players in the league, if not the best player. Like it's pretty insane. Now, looking like there's not much you can't do. But again, if we have Donovan Mitchell in that game, maybe we punch back. Maybe we don't get down 17 to have to fight back to even get to overtime. And then the other games against the Pistons, Magic, And Hornets, the Hornets, we really got by the hair in our chinny chin chin. Jalen Brunson hit a game time three, big time three, to force overtime. Then we went in overtime. And again, the Magic, we had pretty much control throughout the game. So again, we're gonna beat teams we're supposed to beat. What about those tough games? What about those 50-50 games? It's gonna be tough, especially like I said. It's gonna be tough to see how things shake out. Jalen Brunson is clear-cut, head and shoulders the alpha on the team. He's clearly the guy that's gonna be taking most of the shots. We're gonna have to ride with that. Julius Randle is playing great basketball, great team basketball. Way better than I would have expected. So I got a lot of respect for the player. He came back this offseason. Came back this season being. It's gonna be season. It's tough, man. There's a lot of good teams. The East has got better. Even the Detroit Pistons, who are 1-4, have a lot of talent, a lot of ability. It's really tough, but we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see the New York Knicks. I'm gonna make videos more consistently, so I don't have to talk about things in the past, and I can just talk about the same, just one topic, at a time. I appreciate you listening. Feel free to send a comment. What do you think about the Knicks? How do you think the Knicks are gonna finish? Are they gonna make the playoffs? Is it a playing game? What's best case scenario? What's worst case scenario? Let's take a look. Let's chat it up. Master Bruce CB on Instagram. Master Bruce CB on Twitter, Spotify, and YouTube, and Twitch. Master Bruce on Instagram. Don't hold me like you don't know me. Send it to a buddy. I appreciate you watching.